Now the problem I have with GoOutdoors is that every time I come here, there's always something I want to buy or you think that you need when you go wild camping or hiking. You've really consciously got to think, do I really need this or do I want it? There's a massive difference. Yeah, I could do with a pop-up cup. You don't need it, it's just more stuff for you to carry. So let's go down and have a look at some hiking shoes. I only want something cheap and cheerful, just so that I can walk around in mud and not get my trainers dirty. Oh, I need a portable loo. So, here we are looking at the trainers, and as you know, I've got my Solomon 5Ds, which are absolutely brilliant. But what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for more of a trainer type. And there's some over here, but they're 75 quid, which is not really what I wanted to pay. These are the men's GTX trial trainer. Should be $5, it's a bit more than I actually wanted to pay. But those boots I've got absolutely awesome. I will do a review on them at some point. Let's go down and have a look on the wall and see if there's anything that's a little bit more like a trainer rather than an actual shoe. Some of these are really cool. These are the actual running trail trainers, but again, these are not really what we want. There are some cool ones up here from Merrell, but these are $90. It's not really as much as I wanted to spend, but of course, as you know, everything in hiking and wild camping, a lot of it is about the image as much as its functionality. So let's see if we can see anything else on there that we actually like the look of. Well, I found the perfect walking, hiking trainer for me. Here we go. Well, I think it's between these two here. The Merrell, which is this one here, which is quite a solid shoe actually, and the other one, which is the Merrell Gore-Tex with this one. This one, I'm drawn to this one a little bit more, purely because a lot of the stuff that we're going to do, I'm going to be doing the National Trust videos a lot of the time, so I kind of do want a comfortable quality shoe that I can use that's not going to break the bank too much. I'd rather pay a little bit extra and get something half decent, but obviously these are not the sort of thing that I'm going to be doing on the wild camping or any of the other things. A little bit expensive, more than I wanted to pay, but isn't this always the case when you come into these places? You always spend a little bit more money than you want, so Merrell is a good make. So I think if I've got them in my size, these are the ones I'm going to get. Well, I usually go for an 8.5 shoe, and these fit quite well, but my toe is right at the very end of the actual shoe here, so we'll probably have to see if they do a half size. If not, it may be that we have to get a whole size larger and we actually wear hiking and walking socks. So we'll see what the crack is now. It's embarrassing doing that in there, you know. Weird, as soon as I was like started to film over near the trainers and things, people would just like, you can see them in your peripheral vision, they'd look at you, come up and then just stand right near you listening. Hey, I'm not that famous. Yeah. Now, as you may have seen on my Go Outdoors video, I was looking for a hiking stroke walking boot so I could do National Trust or maybe walking down on the canal, or maybe doing a little bit of single track, but it wasn't going to be too boggy and messy, otherwise I would take the hiking boots. And you get the idea, the basic trails and things like that. So I didn't want to go in my trainers all the time. So I was looking for a quality walking shoe. Now, this is the Interceptor from Merrell. And from looking at all the trainers that were out there at Go Outdoors on the rack, these ones kind of stood out to me as looking like quite a rugged, solid boot. We'll call them a shoe from now on because that's kind of what it is, a solid shoe. This one had an extremely thick, durable, hard sole on it, which is what you want when you're going over stones and things like that, so you don't get foot ache really well. And one of the things that it mentioned about this shoe was that it had great arch support. So if you get trouble with your arches, this has got a great support on it. Now, I took this up to Studley Royal for a little walk around on a miserable day, and you'll see that video coming soon on the channel. So this gave me a great opportunity for, let's just say, climbing over a few rocks and walls, onto the grass, a little bit of sandy paths and things like that. And I can say that the actual heel and the support on these shoes is absolutely brilliant. They're really rock solid. And many of you out there will know that you want a hard sole when you're walking around. I've looked at the reviews on GoOutdoors for this shoe, and a few people have said that after a couple of months the shoe bends, it gets very soft, and a lot of the seams here come undone. Now, I've only had these for 3 or 4 days now, so I can't tell you whether the quality of this shoe is going to be 100%, but so far I've not had any problems, and these are extremely comfortable. There is an anti-fungal sole in here. There is a high lip on the actual shoe here to stop bits of dirt and gravel getting in your shoe so quickly. And there also is a toe mount at the front, or a toe cap, to stop you stubbing your toe in and getting great grip when you're trying to go up at an angle. Now, the biggest negative I've got for this shoe, when you pay over £100 for a boot or a shoe, you expect it to be waterproof, and I'm really disappointed to tell you that even walking around in slightly damp grass, my feet were wet through with this shoe. So Merrell, I don't really know what you were thinking about releasing a terrain and hiking walking boot that isn't waterproof. Now, the only other solution you're going to have for this shoe is if you get some sealskin socks, for example, so that your feet don't get wet. But these shoes, or these stroke shoot boots, are going to get you extremely wet feet when it is raining. So consider this when you're thinking about buying this shoe, because this was the biggest disappointment I found for this, and I can't take these back now as these have been worn, which is a real shame. So really, that is the biggest negative I can give you for this current stage. There is a great grip on the bottom, and overall it's a very comfortable shoe. Now, I'm size 8 in the UK, and if you are considering buying these, make sure you go for the size bigger, because by the time you've got your hiking walking sock on, it fills them up nicely, and you've got a little bit of a gap there for a little bit of movement in the shoe. So barring the weather, if these were for a dry weather trail or hike, these are fantastic. I would wear these pretty much all the time. I might even consider them for a little bit of bushcraft and wild camping out on the moors, depending on the weather and depending on the terrain, of course. But overall, can I recommend these shoes? Yes, if you're prepared to not get them wet. I know that's a big shame. There are some real fantastic holes here, giving you great ventilation, so in summer your shoes and feet are not going to be getting overheated. But regards anything else, I really think Merrell dropped the bomb here by not making these waterproof and adding a Gore-Tex lining inside them for the cost, when you can get Gore-Tex waterproof boots that are 50 quid cheaper. But anyway, that's my review of the Merrell shoe, the Continuum. A great shoe, but only in certain cases.